What happens when you are killed and you become a young girl on the wrong side of war? Find out as we look at the Saga of Tanya the Evil, Volume 1. Hello and welcome to That Man. That is re-merchandise, and since Isekai Quartet has came out, most people are rediscovering the love for a lot of their light novels. Konosuba has always been one of those ones that everybody seemed to get into. Overlord was another one that really picked up last year. It was one of the kind of, it was, people were like, oh yeah, I like this, and then series 2 and 3 it was like, yeah, this is brilliant. And ReZero is getting in season 2, and people are kind of like, oh yeah, I really like this, I kind of forgot about that. But the one that kind of most people had already skipped over was the Saga of Tanya the Evil. And I know this series gets a lot of dislike, and it's a lot of misguided dislike. Join me as we have a look at this series. And if you do like light novels, if you do like manga, please leave a like. Please consider subscribing. We've got plenty more stuff on here, and there's probably another thing around here that if you don't like this one might intrigue you a little bit more. So, the Saga of Tanya the Evil has a young man who is a ruthless kind of businessman. He gets on the wrong side of people, and he's ultimately, well, killed off. At that point, he discovers God is real, or known as Being X. He manages to upset them and kind of just be like, well, I don't believe in you, so yeah, you can't do anything. So Being X, or God, reincarnates him as a young girl. Tanya Dugashev. I hope I've pronounced that right. And this is in an alternate World War One, and this young boy, this young man, well, I say young man, mid-30s, kind of, he kind of takes a ruthless business ideology to Tanya. He's like, well, I'm going to survive no matter what, and in order to survive, I'm going to have to do this, and this. Ultimately, Tanya ends up becoming one of the higher-ups in charge of a squadron on the wrong side of this war. Alternate World War One, basically Germany. So this isn't the same as normal World War One. There's still kind of tanks and stuff like that, but it's all kind of done by magic and flying machinery and stuff like that. And yeah, this is a very interesting read because it's very much unlike other light novels. In fact, I would actually consider Tanya the Evil to be more of a novel, much like Overlord. It's interesting, but it is a different style of writing. See, the way that this kind of reads is that it's a bit more of memoirs, as if somebody else was there and is writing about Tanya. If you watch the anime, I would definitely try and get a taster of this one before you just rush in and read it, because it's not quite as easy as Konosuba or ReZero or Overlord. I felt this was a difficult read, but it was a worthwhile read. Now, one of the things between the anime and the manga, and well, the light novel, is that, like I said, this is a novel, so they skipped a lot in the anime. They got through about all of this in about 3 volumes, and man, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of bouncing back between different characters. There's different characters' point of views as we see some of the things that Tanya does in order to survive, in order to make her underlings survive. Because at the end of the day, the stuff, she goes down in history as Tanya the Evil, but from what we read, everything that Tanya does is a calculated risk to keep her from being killed, to keep her from dying. Now, later on, her focus does shift from surviving to conquering, but this is very much a survival thing. This is a kind of do this or you're going to die, do this or you will be court-martialed. It's like on a battlefield you've got a choice, kill or be killed, and it's very much like that. While Tanya is kind of starts off being a very calculated person, she starts off being very much kind of like, well, I use them as a ruthless businessman. If you feel like a worthless peon in your job, this is probably something that will make you feel even more worthless. She treats people like cattle. It's like, you die so I live kind of thing. And so there's a very important part where she kind of goes and there's people slacking off and stuff like that, and they're like, okay, you've got a new assignment, you go into that bunker, and then that bunker ends up getting hit by shells, killing the people, and it's like, did she know that was going to happen? And there's a very much scene here, it's like, well, yeah, they were sitting targets, but somebody had to do that job. They didn't want to do their actual job, so I punished them by doing that. The fact that they got killed in the meantime, well, that's just the way of war. And it's a very cruel way of looking at things. It's very dark and it is quite sinister. However, I do like the way they've done it. Now, see, this is the kind of thing that I really was annoyed with this series, how people reacted. It was like, oh, well, she's a Nazi lolly. And I'm like, no, she's not. This is World War One, so that is beforehand. It's an alternate world, and crimes were committed on all sides. And like I said, this is very much, we have not Germany, not Poland, not UK, not France, not Russia. And as time goes on, we do see more and more ridiculous and evil people on both sides. And it's very dark, it's very sinister, but I did not regret reading this. Like I said, it's a difficult one to get into if you're reading it. It was very much a slog. Like the volume 1, it kind of goes from different characters' point of view. So in my opinion, if you want to get into this, get a taster and watch the first few episodes of the anime. The anime will give you that setting. It will give you those characters in your mind, so it makes them identify a lot easy. Because, like I said, this is like characters talk. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of self monologues. In fact, that was one of the things I really hated about the anime, is that the self monologues in this were actually cut. So yeah, it's a great read. I wouldn't push people against reading it. Make up your own mind about Tanya, but I would definitely suggest researching it before you get into it. Don't just buy this. Sometimes I see, if you're trying to get into a light novel, try buying volume 1 to 3 or something like that. I bought 1 to 3 of this. I read volume 1 and I had to have a break. A year later I got into volume 2. But I don't regret it. What do you guys think about Tanya the Evil? Do you like it? Do you think it's an easy to read thing? Or what do you kind of feel how you enjoyed it? Let me know in the comments. I have read volumes 1 and 2 and worked my way through volume 3. I've actually got volume up to 5 now, so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. It's a hard slog, but it's so worth it. If you did enjoy this, there is some other stuff around here, some other series that you probably will also enjoy. And like I said, if you did like this, thank you very much for coming. Thanks very much for seeing. Please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.